Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, hey, what's popping? Alright, so I look a hot mess, but I'm gonna fix my edges and my eyebrows because I'm about to do a storytelling of a crime and stuff like that, because I'm trying to get into those murder mystery kind of stories while doing my makeup. So I'm gonna do my eyebrows and then I'm gonna fix my edges while telling you guys how I started my locks. Alright, so I started my locks about 3 months ago, and around the first month period of that, it locked a little faster. I want to say locked, but I mean the root part, like this much locked, and then the rest was just like curly and still hair, like it was still twist. I actually used the 2-strand twist to do my locks. At first I actually used the 3, I braided it, meaning like I used a 3-strand to start them, and then I felt like they were looking extremely thin. They just didn't look like to my liking and whatnot. So what I did was a night I loosed them out and I restarted them. So I basically took down the braid itself and twist it instead. Around that time, I was like, okay, I don't like these either because they were actually bigger than I wanted them to be. So another night after that, I was looking at YouTube videos on how to lock your hair faster, and someone had this one girl, I can't even remember her name or whatnot, but she had some really nice looking locks, and they were like kind of thinnish, and that's the kind of locks that I was actually going for. I was like, ooh, yeah, I like those. I want those. So that same night I was watching that video, I took them down, and each of my locks, I like just split them in 2 and just twist them separately. Like I was saying, I was watching a girl that was explaining how to lock your locks a little faster and whatnot. She actually, I think she locked hers within the 3-month period, but I used a different method. I used somewhat similar to her method, but I actually used a different kind of method to lock my locks. So she explained that, wet your hair, do not wash your hair, but wet your hair every day. Like even if it's every day or every other day or every 3 days, but make sure your hair gets wet, because what I think that does is the water dries up in your hair and mats up your hair, if you understand what I'm saying, right? Yeah. So what I did was, I kept hearing people say that, oh, you're not supposed to wash your hair and with just shampoo and what's not, because you don't want that to this and that. And I was confused because hair in the islands, oh, I'm sweaty. Hair in the islands, that's something you kind of do. You let your hair dry out. You wash your hair with shampoo alone and just let it dry, because shampoo dries out your hair. Shampoo is not meant to moisturize your hair, it's meant to dry out your hair, like completely dry it out. All the oils and all the like mixture that you put in your hair throughout the week, or the whenever you were doing your hair and what's not. So yeah, shampoo takes all that out. So I was like, if I don't, because I actually ran out of shampoo, but I don't think that I ran out before I started doing this. Something was like, how about you use bar soaps, the bar soaps that you use to bathe your skin. So I actually used bar soaps to wash my hair, because bar soaps, if you wasn't smaller and try to wash your hair with bar soaps, I don't know what you was trying to do. But I used bar soaps to wash my hair, and to this day that's the only thing I use to wash my hair, because it dries it out and it locks it up fast. Because that it dries it out, so it gives it time to mat, and it makes the process extremely easier. So I was able to style my hair faster than I was actually expecting to. Around the 2nd month period is when they completely locked, and now I'm in my 3rd month period. The only part that's not locked is the complete end part, where there's just that little curl. Like on each one of them there's that. On the top part, like a little up hair, is probably the only part that's actually not like the ends aren't completely locked, but that's all right, I'm fine with that. But yeah, so I would say like bar soap are the best thing to use, because your hair locks faster and it's extremely easier, affordable, cheaper. But yeah, so I would say to wet your hair like every day. And when I say wet, I don't mean like douse your hair in water. I mean like put water in your hand and just keep throwing it in until you feel like your hair is damp and your hair is laying down. Because your hair actually, when you start your locks, your hair is going to be sticking up. You are going to go through that ugly stage and what's not, but you have to, you know, patience is key when it comes to locks. So I would say let your hair dry out as much as it can. A lot of people will tell you to don't let it dry out, but that's the only how you can get it to lock faster. Like, your hair has to be dry for it to mat. And that's actually the only thing I know that island people do when they start in their locks. They let their hair dry out for the simple fact that it freaking makes the process faster. Like, I know people who lock their hair within 2 months, because hair, they give it a 3-month period. So they normally say, okay, we're gonna do this and your hair is gonna lock within 3 months. Don't wash it. Don't not wash it sometimes, okay? If you notice that your hair is starting to mat up, because you will start to feel it getting hard in the beginning, like the roots part right here and what's not, you will start to feel it getting hard. That is a sign of locking. So once you feel that, I think that you should go ahead and wash your hair with a bar of soap so that way it can dry out your hair as much. Don't put too much, like, you know how you moisturize your hair. Don't, that ain't necessary. You're trying to get it to lock, not be the same way. So I would say to reduce the use of moisturizers. I mean, you can still use your coconut butter or coconut oil, your olive oil, your tea tree oil and what's not, but don't make it a habit of putting it in your hair, because at this stage you're not trying to get your hair to grow, you're trying to get it to lock, right? So you want to lay off of all of that. After your hair is completely locked, that's when you can start up with all your oils and stuff like that, your hair treatments and whatever. But yeah, so around that time when your hair is already locked, I can completely say you can go ahead and use back your conditioner if you want to. I would prefer not to. There is a budding stage where your hair looks fuzzy. You have to go through that stage even if you don't want to, unless you get the instant locks where you go get them done and they're instantly locked. But yeah, don't be discouraged. Locks takes patience, and if you start your locks at a like, what I want to say, short hair stage, you will go through that really bad stage of being like feeling like you're ugly, feeling like it's not working for you. Because my locks were actually, I'm surprised at the length. Let me just give y'all the backstory on the length of my locks. All right. So what I actually did was, while my locks were locking, and the beginning of them were already locked. And when I say the beginning, I mean the root again. So while the roots were locking, what I actually did was pull at my hair. So I started pulling at it because I knew that this was the length of my hair, and I wanted it to be hair and not hair, because my hair, I'm gonna insert a picture like right here or a video, something. But it was actually shorter than this, and I needed my hair to stretch. You can stretch your hair. People make it seem like you can't stretch your hair while you're putting in locks, while you're starting your locks, but you can stretch your hair while you're doing it at the same time. But like I said, I'm gonna keep emphasizing on the bar soap. Use a bar soap. It's gonna be easier. You're gonna be locking faster. You're gonna thank me later. I'm sorry, I'm trying to freaking finish my eyebrows. So, like I say, I pulled at my hair so that it can stretch, it can keep its length. You can stretch your hair while it's locking. Don't make anybody think that you can't do it. You can style your hair once it's locking. That's a sign of you stretching your hair. But I would say to keep the style in long so your hair can get that time to catch itself and lock in that position and what's not. So once you keep, pulling at your hair, or even when you wet your hair, like keeping your hair damp and what's not on a daily basis, you want to shake your head because you want your locks to stretch. When you shake your head, like after you done get them damp, the locks stretches. Just like when you shake your head when you have just natural hair, your hair stretches when you shake your head. Your hair it needs to stretch and what's not. If you live on an island, it's better for you to go to the beach. Salt water in your hair dries out the hair fast. It's amazing. Helps you lock your hair faster. My eyebrow look hot, man. So yeah, you want to continue stretching your hair as much as you can. Don't make anybody, because a lot of these YouTubers make it seem like, don't put your hair in styles, don't stretch your hair, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You can't stretch your hair. I did it. It's at its natural length. So, well, not natural length, but it's at its length that I started it. It actually grew a bit while in this 3-month period of locking it. But I'm really extremely pleased with my locks. I'm not gonna freaking lie, like I freaking love them. Like I actually am a little upset that I didn't start my locks earlier because I'm freaking in love with them. I love how they turned out. I love it, I love it, I love it. I would say to try to get the exact like length, not length, but shape of your locks. If you want to do it in like a square, a triangle, stuff like that, try to get it in that first before, because there are times when you're gonna be like, oh, I don't like this, let me take it out and do it over. It's gonna become stressful on you, trust me, because the restarting it, that's just restarting the process, if you're being honest. So you want to get that done first and make sure that it's to your liking, so you don't have to go through that like I did. Right? So yeah, so keep that in mind. So yeah, I want to touch back on the topic of patience. The reason why I'm saying have patience, the reason why I am saying have patience is simply because I'm in Loc'd groups on Facebook. And let me tell y'all, there's a lot of people in that group that's like, oh, I don't like my hair, I want to take it out. I just started my locks and I don't like it already, I want to take it out. All because I'm guessing that they are at that fragile state of it being just looking fuzzy. Just like, your hair just look fuzzy. Like, I went through that stage. Thank God they locked. But yeah, patience is the best thing that you can have, because if you don't have that, you'll find yourself taking them out like all together and just, sorry, I'm wiping off with glue off my head. You're gonna find yourself taking down your locks before you even get to see what they actually look like, right? So yeah, if you want to start your locks like today, tomorrow, I would suggest that you get Got To Be glue and the free spray and kind of start them with that, because what that does is it helps you a lot, especially when it comes to the matting. It holds everything in place. When I do my hair like in styles and what's not, I always use Got To Be glue, because what it does is, you see those fuzzy areas on the outside of my hair, it holds all of that in to keep it as locked. So when I finish, I always take the free spray and spray my entire head to make sure that, you know, it's in place. Because trust me when I say, you do not want fuzzy hair. Like it just doesn't look as nice as it should when it's fuzzy. So yeah, so like I say, if you are in the position to have Got To Be free spray or Got To Be glue, go ahead and get that if you don't have it. But those will be the most beneficial things to you when starting your locks, because their purpose when it comes to starting locks is extremely amazing. You would find yourself and your hair locking faster. You'll find yourself actually pleased with the results, and you'll find your hair locking extremely fast. Like it just, I like it. If I had it when I started, I would have locked my hair with it. But I think that if you're gonna start your locks, I think you should start it with Got To Be, because it's gonna benefit you. Alright guys, so this is the end of the video. Like I said, please have patience when you are starting your locks, because it does get tricky, it does get depressing sometimes. Not depressing, but you know, it gets irritating. You can get frustrated with the locks. just try to look up cute little hairstyles. You can always put them in 2 buns, which is extremely cute all the time. Like on anybody, it's cute. Do your makeup, feel yourself. Like when you start your locks, it's gonna take that time. You're gonna have to take time to adjust to your new hair. So don't be like, oh, I give up, I don't want to do it anymore. I mean, sis, how you know it's gonna look good if you don't keep it? Alright, so I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!